In this video, I'm going to take you through a quick demo of the system specifically for the arts. So what exactly is the system? I want to try to describe it in the easiest way possible. So think of platforms like Facebook, Google, and a lot of other social networks. They have algorithms in place based on consumer activity. The reason that these work is because they're constantly testing and being innovative with those strategies, those algorithms. So the system is a platform, a suite of tools that basically help you and your business create your own unique algorithms. And that can be very, very specific and linear to your industry and to your audience. When you think about what is my product offering, what are the things that my customers are expecting from my brand, you get more data and insight, and the system basically helps you use that data and insight to create actions and responses to that input, that data from your customers. Hypothetical, if somebody comes into your gallery and they say check in with a digital QR code or a digital form, most businesses just stop there. Galleries don't really do anything with that, right? But think about this. If a potential customer, potential art buyer, collector, or just a regular guest comes into your gallery, they check in, the system then allows you to do something like this. So you can put a QR code next to any piece within that exhibition or show. And then let's say that visitor or that buyer scans that QR code. The system interacts with that audience member and basically says, you like this piece. Well, maybe you'll like these artists as well, or maybe you'll like these other pieces by this artist. So it'll have that conversation with your audience, and it's really up to you to kind of customize and tailor what that interaction and communication between you and your audience looks like. It's about testing and trying. So the system basically allows you the opportunity to test and try so many different algorithms to help enhance the experience for your customers, for your audience, but also at the end of the day, increase that bottom line, increase your audience size. So let's move on. What does it replace? Basically, a lot of businesses and brands use a lot of these softwares and tools already, and they price their product based on things like number of users, number of forms that you create, number of websites you host. So let's take a look, right? So the system basically can replace all of these platforms, including website builders, invoice builders, form builders, and I put some of these numbers on this list because I want you to get an idea of how much you might be paying per month for all of these subscriptions, because I will explain later how all of these features are included in one suite of tools to help you not only save money, but also maximize what's happening, the activity within your business. Some softwares that it also replaces, for example, some social media management sites like Loomly and Hootsuite, some membership sites. These are really expensive. Wild Apricot, Memberful. You can do all of the things that you can do inside of these softwares times 10. So let's keep moving on. So these are the pricing tiers of the system as of today. $97 a month for one user and 1,000 contacts. Contacts are your audience or your customers. Lite Plus plan is 3 users, 3,000 contacts. Pro plan is 10 users, 5,000 contacts, and then premium is unlimited users, unlimited contacts. And keep in mind, you have access to all of these tools and features, and we are adding new features each and every single day. So let's move on. So this number was estimated based on standard number of users, contacts, and features utilized by most brands today. So when we did the numbers, we were thinking about if you were to get a subscription with Squarespace or Memberful or one of these social media platforms, and we did the numbers based on up to 10 users. So think about the possible savings. And then on top of that, it's a constant developing tool. So there's new tools added every single month. And I want to go back to that because I want to mention one other thing. We don't just add these tools. We add the videos on how to use these tools to boost and streamline your business model, your business practices, boost your audience size, boost your bottom line. We're not like other softwares where we just basically give you the suite of tools and say, do what you want with it. We're really not gonna do anything from here. You gave us your money and now you're responsible for the outcome. It's almost like walking into Home Depot and then basically saying, all right, I have access to all of these tools, but I don't know what to do with it. Imagine having a guided person that basically said, here, let me show you how to use these tools and what's possible that you can do with these tools. So now we're going to go through the login process and the user interface of what you can expect. So you can go to rocepez.com and on the very top right click on login, but a lot of brands, I recommend just going to the very bottom of your footer and having a little maybe like team login link, and then when they click that, they will land right on the login user interface for the system. Every single team member will have their own login credentials, so nobody will be using the same login credentials. So you put in your email, your password, and then the user interface. So the very first page that they land on is the dashboard. And the dashboard is just basically like a quick snapshot of all of the activity that's happening within your business. And the cool thing about this is that you can customize this however you want, and you can create multiple dashboards. So think about, you might want to have one dashboard for memberships. You might want to have another one for donations. You might want to have another one for new contacts, unlimited possibilities. So now let's move on to conversations. So conversations is basically like a centralized location for all of your incoming communication, from Instagram, Facebook, direct email, direct text message, all into one place. And the reason that that's powerful is because when you have one centralized location where all the communication is coming in, not only are you not missing those opportunities, but you can create automations based on unique keywords. It's very powerful. Let's move on to calendars. So you can create unlimited calendars based on specific service type. If you're renting equipment, whatever you want, there's so many options available within the calendars interface today. And we're constantly adding new features as well. So now we're moving into the contact section. This is a really cool area within the system because it gives you almost like the will to the ship. You can basically send out a mass text to your entire list if you want. You can send out an email, text, a segmented list. You could add tags, and we'll go into that in another video of the power of tags. But it's very powerful because it gives you a lot of control on the communication that you can have between you and your audience. So now let's move on to opportunities. A lot of people understand what opportunities and pipelines are, but for those who don't, basically what a pipeline is the stages of a sales process or a sign-up process or a donation process. So it's like they fill out a form, that's stage 1 in the pipeline. They donate money, that could be stage 2 in the pipeline. Now we're nurturing them to donate again, that could be stage 3. So that is an example of what a pipeline is. But think about, you can do unlimited pipelines. You can have a pipeline for memberships. You can have a pipeline for products. You can have a pipeline for new contacts. It's unlimited opportunity. And moving on to opportunity. Opportunities are basically kind of like leads. This is a new opportunity. This is a new lead. How do we want to track and measure that? What do we want to do with that new lead? Now let's move on to the payment section. So within the payment section, there's so many things you can do. You can create templates for invoices. You can create templates for contracts and documents. You can see all of your orders in one place. You can create subscriptions. You can see all of your transactions line item by line item. You can even create e-commerce based products within this area. Coupons, so many things that you can do within the payment section. Now we're moving on to the marketing section. So the marketing section is your central hub for your email templates. Say, for example, you have an email template that goes out anytime somebody signs up for your newsletter, maybe signs up for a membership. All of those are housed within this area. Social planner. Social planner is basically like Hootsuite or Loonly. You can schedule all of your posts out, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok. And then also keep in mind, like I said, we're adding new tools and features all the time. Right now, we're working on a new feature that basically allows any brand to auto-respond anytime somebody comments on any one of these platforms. Meaning, say you make a post and you say, hey, reply Y if you want more information. If they reply Y, once you integrated your social media platforms, you can create automations, anything you want to happen after that. Very, very powerful area within the system. Then let's move on to automation. Automations is kind of like the gas, the fuel of your system. It's basically where you design the algorithm. So one example is, let's say, for example, You want to create a workflow or an automation when somebody signs up for your newsletter. Let's say they sign up, they submit the form. Now we want to send them a pre-recorded voicemail. Now we want to have someone on our team reach out to them. Now we want them to get this email. Now we want them to get this text. We want them to go into this automation maybe a month later. You really get to test and create new, unique algorithms for your business and see what's really working to convert, not only convert, but also bring people back to your platform. Because at the end of the day, if you are not creating content or creating an experience for your audience to want to engage with you more, they're going to forget about you. So you have to create unique and innovative ways and strategies to get them their attention coming back to your platform. So workflows are a very powerful tool. We'll go deeper into workflows in another video, but let's move on to the next section. We have sites. Sites is where you can create the same way that you can do with a Squarespace or a Wix or a WordPress, a drag and drop experience with creating funnels, meaning like landing pages, websites, blogs, a client portal where you can have your own customers log in and kind of like a private Facebook group interact with each other. Unlimited forms. So think about Jotform. Jotform, they charge you based on how many forms, active forms you have. Within the system, unlimited forms, unlimited surveys. You can have a chat widget. You can host your media, kind of like Google Drive or Dropbox. URL redirects, basically kind of like if you want to create a QR code, but when you print that out, say you end up changing the landing page and you're like, oh, we got to print it again. URL redirects basically just allow you to say, if you want to change the destination of where people go when they click this button or they scan this QR code, you can do it within URL redirects. Next, let's move into the membership section. So the membership section allows you to create kind of like a login experience to see and interact with videos or courses or products that you create for your audience. Let's say hypothetical. You sell a piece of artwork and most people don't really provide support on how to maintain and care for your artwork. How about if you created like a short course, maybe like 2-3 videos that goes out to that buyer after they purchase that piece to say, hey, these are some tips and ideas on how you can maintain this artwork and keep it looking fresh and new over time. It's a cool way to kind of provide added value to your audience. Then we have the reputation section. So the reputation section really gives you a lot of power because as we know, businesses that have a lot of positive reviews on platforms like Google or Facebook tend to be favored by those platform algorithms. If you perform well and your audience is saying, we really love the experience, all these 5 stars, you're going to have an organic boost in your ranking on these platforms. So when somebody types in, let's say, for example, they're looking for a gallery near me. If your gallery has 500 plus 5 stars, more than likely Google will favor your gallery over another gallery who maybe has only 10, 5 or 4.5 stars. So now let's move on to the next section, and that's reporting. So if you're, say for example, running Facebook ads, Google ads, you can see the performance of all of those ads and clicks and conversions right from the reporting dashboard. Then we're moving into the mobile app. So there is a mobile app connected to this platform. It allows you to kind of take all of this power on the go. So say for example, somebody responds to an email or responds to a text message. You can have that message go directly to the app. And then the power behind that is, let's say you have like a template or an email template, or you have a product template created and you just automatically, when you're on the go or on the road, want to send a payment link or send a message or send a frequently asked question template to that customer. You can do that and so much more from the app. It's super cool. So we created a help center within the platform because we understood that when you go to, say like, for example, when you go into a Home Depot, you're overwhelmed by all these tools. There's so many different brands. There's so many different possibilities to pick and choose from. It's almost like the help center is like guided support. This is what this tool is. This is what you can do with this tool. These are how other brands are using this tool. We create guided videos, short to the point, guided videos on every single tool within the system. And as new tools and features get added, we also keep adding new fresh content to the help center. So we have an onboarding help center. Then we have a frequently asked question help center, which is basically every single section within the system. So every single section within the system, there's going to be supported video content for every single feature and how to use and utilize that within your own business model. Then we have a help center specifically for the arts. So if you ask us to set up your account for you and you want us to build out automations and workflows for you, we have a guided support channel within the system that's accessible from the left-hand navigation bar, where you and your team can easily go into your account, go to the help center specifically for the arts and see, how do I update a call for entry? How do I send out a call for entry? Think about the power behind that. Because when you hire a new, say, employee or a new intern, instead of having to sit down and manually show them step by step all the processes within your business, we basically do it for you. So let's move on to the next section, and that is the support center. So we have a form within the embedded left-hand navigation bar that if you or anyone on your team has a specific question about, hey, I'm stuck, I need some support, I have a question and I don't know how to work around this, no problem. You fill out this form, we get back to you with a Loom video. A Loom video showing you step by step how to resolve the issue or the problem that you're running into. And then we have the book a Zoom with me. So if you have any specific question or you just have a list of questions or you want some support in terms of like ideas or brainstorming, you can book a private 30-minute Zoom session with me, and just one-on-one on Zoom, we can have a conversation about what you're trying to set up and I can help you troubleshoot and work through that. Then the last part, as of today, we have the courses and community. Now you can create your own private courses and community within your account, but this is access for every new account. They have access to this because what we want to achieve with this is we want all the galleries that come up with this cool, creative, unique algorithm or workflow that is really working for them to maybe share it with the community. And there's other galleries within the space that can have conversations and bounce ideas off of each other. Then we also have within the communities and courses section, access to all of our courses, and we will be adding new courses as well. So now let's move into the settings section within the system. So this is basically where all your business details and information lives. So you can come into the settings section like any other software, update your emails, your login credentials, access for your team and employees. You can add custom values and fields, and we'll go into that in another video. But this is kind of like the central hub for your business to update information. Now I'm going to kind of go through a little custom build out specifically for the arts. So if you're an art gallery or you're an artist that hosts exhibitions, I'm going to show you what's possible within the system. So in this demo, we're going to do a call for entry demo so you can kind of see what the workflow looks like. So these are a overview map out of 5 landing pages that we build for your call for entry experience. Starting with the call for entry details page. So we come in here and we make it very easy for you to update and change this, because the cool thing about it is that custom values are added to these pages. Basically a piece of code that when you update your business or specific event information, it updates everywhere. It updates on every landing page, updates on every email, text message, super powerful. So this is an example. We have all the important dates, we have the image, we have the primary contact, and again, these update with your account across every single platform as well. So your important dates about this exhibition, about the juror, you can have your curator. If you don't have a juror, you can have the curator information there. When they go on this page and they're a potential artist that's going to submit their work into the show, they click submit your work, and then it takes them to the payment page. So if you have a submission fee for your call for entry, say it's $30, right? They go to this page, they put in their information, their credit card details, they hit submit, they land on the call for entry application page where they can come in here, put in all of their details, their full name, address, artist statement, artist bio, social handles, then the details for the pieces. So like piece 1, you can put piece title, medium, dimensions, your created price, and then all the image files. You can also specify how many images you want to allow a unique artist to upload for each unique piece. So in this example, we allow up to 5 per piece and we allow up to 3 pieces. So this is just an example. And then once the artist submits all of this information, now also keep in mind, they don't have to submit 3 pieces. They have the option to, because that's specific for this demo. They click date of submission, additional information, maybe like this piece is super fragile. Once they check the box and click submit, then they land on this page. So this is powerful because the thing is, a lot of galleries do manual updates. So if somebody says, hey, I've got the title messed up, or I forgot that the price is actually more than what I put, they call the gallery, and then the gallery director usually has to go into the account and update, whether they use Jotform or another platform like Entry Thingy. Then they have to go in and manually update. We made it possible so that way any artist can go into the platform and just update the information themselves. They click this little button, little pop-up appears, they can update the information, they land back on this page, and they see the update automatically. So what's really cool about this, and it's just gonna kind of blow your mind a little bit, it updates on everything. It updates on the landing pages, it updates on the Google spreadsheets that you send to the juror. You don't have to manually do anything. We automated the entire process, and that is the power of the system. So then, and what's really cool about this is some galleries say, well, we don't want to allow manual updates because they might change something after the deadline. Not in this case. We set automations that basically say, once this date and time hits, everything locks. So you don't have to go into the account and manually close anything. Even down to the emails, the buttons that they get to submit their work or update their work, once the submission deadline arrives, they cannot change anything. So it really optimizes and enhances the experience for both the artist and for the gallery. Now I'm going to kind of go through one of the workflows so you can kind of get an idea of the automation process that happens. So in this example, we're going to go through the call for entry artwork submitted workflow. So when the artist submits their application for the call for entry, meaning they submitted their artwork details, the first thing that happens is it gets assigned to the gallery director. So that way the gallery director knows, okay, this person has just submitted their work. Now keep in mind, you can add a notification. You can add an internal notification so that way the gallery director gets notified. But most people don't do that because if there's like 100 submissions, you don't want to have your phone going off all the time. The next thing is we add the artist tag. And that's important because say like a month from now, 2 months from now, we want to send out another call for entry. We could put the tag artist on our list and everybody that submitted in the past will be invited to submit for the new show. Then we send a confirmation email with all of their, and I'll go through the emails in a moment, but we send an email confirmation, we send an SMS confirmation, we add a note to their profile because we want embedded data of all of the details on that specific date that they submitted to their account. Then we have a spreadsheet, a Google spreadsheet. This is a spreadsheet that we send to the juror or to the curator when they're going through the selection process. So it basically adds a row of that submission from that specific artist automatically. Then it removes them from the workflow. Now I'm going to walk you through some of the emails that your artist or the customer side facing will see when they submit their work. So anytime an artist submits payment, meaning the submission fee, before they submit any work, they will receive this email from this demo in this example. Hello, name, the art gallery name, the show title, and again, all of these details and information will automatically update and populate everywhere. So they will receive this email when they submit payment, then they'll have the option to learn more and submit their work, landing on the details page that we previously covered. So they'll click that button, they'll go to the details page, they'll submit their submission fee payment, they'll get this email. So a lot of artists don't automatically submit their work after they submit payment. And the reason some people ask, why do you require payment before the application fee? Well, because if you allow everybody to submit their work and spend time submitting their work, and then they get to the submission fee process, they're like, whoa, wait, I didn't know that there was a submission fee, or whoa, that's way more expensive than I was willing to pay. So it's better to get that payment prompt out of the way and then get sent to the next page to submit their work. So once they submit their payment, they get this email, they can submit their work from here or on the next page that they land on after they submit their payment. Also keep in mind, a lot of artists don't automatically submit their work. They may not have the details ready. They might need to take some more pictures. So if they don't submit right away on the landing page, they'll also receive this email where they can submit their work at a later time. Also keep in mind, if they do submit their work and they want to come back after they submit their payment, they get this confirmation email. They can click this update your submission button to go back to that page, the confirmation page, after they submitted all their work details, and update their submission details. So then once the artist submits their work, they receive this confirmation email with all of the piece details, the title, the medium, the dimensions, the price, all of the images that they submitted. And then they have the option from this email as well to update their submission. Now, keep in mind, also remember that submission button will automatically change based on the pre-specified submission deadline, date, and time. So then the next part, once the juror or the gallery director or the curator accepts the artists and the pieces into a show, the artists that are accepted, there's a process. You go through filling out a form, letting the artist know that they've been accepted. And the first stage of that is they receive this email with not only the details and the important dates of the show, but also which pieces were accepted into the show. And for those artists that were not accepted into the show, they received this email letting them know that their work was not accepted into a show in a kind way, but then also prompting them to join their email list, an SMS list, to possibly submit to future shows. So this is an example of what the Google spreadsheet that's automatically updated anytime an artist submits their work or updates their work. Automatically updates on this Google spreadsheet. And the reason that we created a spreadsheet and instead of having the juror or the guest juror sign in is because every software has a learning curve and we want to simplify the experience as much as possible. So most people know how to use Google Sheets. So when you send this to the juror, all they have to do is look, and we segmented this list based on color coordination. So that way it's easy for them to see that all piece 1 details are purple, and then all piece 2 details are banana yellow, and then all piece 3 details are green. And then on the very far right, you have piece 1 accepted, yes or no, and then piece 2 accepted or not accepted, piece 3 accepted or not accepted. So the juror simply just has to put a yes, like a Y, or an N. More specifically, they just have to put a Y. So they don't have to go through each item and put no, they can just put yes. And then once the gallery director or the curator comes back and sees this list after that selection process has completed, all the gallery director or the curator has to do is go to this Google spreadsheet to see the artists that were selected for that specific show and see which ones have the Y marks next to it. Piece 1, Y. Maybe they didn't have piece 2 or piece 3 accepted, but they did have piece 1 accepted. So we set it up so that way this email line easily moves with the Google Sheet. So that way all the curator or gallery director has to do is grab that email from the artist, put it in the first field, and then for piece 1, piece 2, and piece 3, say either accepted or not accepted. Once they submit that form, the artist gets notified. There's a whole sequence of actions that happen. They get automatically entered into reminder automations that basically remind them of intake, gallery talk, opening receptions. It really streamlines the process for the gallery. Then let's move into this Google Sheet. So once the gallery director or the curator submits that accepted form for each specific artist that was accepted into the show, a line item of each of the accepted pieces, and it's pulling all the data that the artist submitted themselves. So the gallery director does not have to manually input this data. All they have to do is put the email and say yes, no for each piece. And then once they submit that form, this product CSV list automatically populates. So that way what happens next is the gallery director just basically downloads this form, uploads it to the system, and a whole entire e-commerce catalog is created of every single accepted piece. The thing about this system is that we're trying to automate and streamline the entire process so that way gallery directors can focus on building relationships with artists and their audience. They shouldn't have to be focused on tedious tasks. So that is basically a general overview of the system specifically for the arts and some of the capabilities with the tools within inside of the system.